Hello, and thank you for tuning in to CVC Interviews. I'm your host, Melanie Merkel, and today I have a really special guest for you. Normally our guest is the host for CVC Interviews, but today she is our guest. So today we are going to talk to Joyce Fodre. How are you today?
Great. Thank you so much for having me on this side.
Yeah, it's so great to have you, and I'm happy to be on this side of the camera too. Normally I'm on the other side. So Joyce, you work for New England Talent Showcase.
Yes.
Okay. You volunteer with CVC, but you actually work for them, and
Yes.
you're the talent coordinator and teacher over there.
Yes.
So now tell us a little bit about New England Talent Showcase. What's it all about?
Well, what's happening is actors in New England don't have an outlet to showcase their skills to agents and managers based out of New York and Los Angeles. And when you're a regional local actor, it's very difficult to find work on a national level. So though I've been busy and many people have been busy as actors in New England, we just need that extra lift. So when New England Talent Showcase came about, they said, we need to recruit people who've been in the acting industry, but just need that next level boost. So what does that entail? They came up with this great platform where actors can participate in a training session, 10 hours of training, headshots with hair and makeup, and that's a rarity in this industry, and then get to compete in 5 different categories. So not only are they getting the training, but they're going to have marketing materials for the next year.
Wow. Yeah, especially to get the headshots, and professional headshots is hard to come by.
Yes.
You can spend a lot of money on those just to have that, just to get noticed, really.
Yes, yes.
So what are the 5 categories that they get to?
Well, right now we're focusing on the basics, which in the acting world are a commercial, a monologue, improv, and a lot of people, they don't really see the connection there, and I can tell you a little bit about that. But we're also going to be doing a cold read and voiceover.
Okay. Oh, wow. So those are good. Yeah, those are good categories for somebody to get their feet wet in, really.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the thing is, all this information is out there and it's available, but it's a lot of work to sift through everything, read through everything, by having industry professionals involved in the event, even at the training level, doing the headshot clinic. So the headshots aren't just going to be, sit there, we're going to take your picture. It's a clinic on how do you get the best results out of a headshot.
Okay, like posing, here to how to
Yes.
pose and stuff?
Yes.
Oh, okay, wear your hair this way, don't wear this.
Oh, all that and then some.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of little rules. There are artistic rules, and then there are guidelines in the industry. So the guidelines in the industry is where we're there to help folks out. The other talent coordinator, I'm actually partnering up with someone, her and I are both talent coordinators, and her name's Sophia Sinica, and her and I are scouring New England for actors who are ready to move on. These are folks that are available and ready to go to New York for auditions and gigs. Because what a lot of folks don't realize is that when there's a casting notice for New York City, if it says New York hire only, that just means they want somebody that is local, that they don't have to pay transportation for. So being in Connecticut, especially you're in the New England region, you're in the New Jersey, tri-state New York area region. But the problem is people that live in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine, Vermont, they don't even know about acting gigs because they don't have representation. And how do you get representation? Well, you have to get agents to see your work. You have to get agents to meet with you. And we're bringing the agents to the talent.
Okay. So is it a school? Is it like an agency, or is it all of the above?
It's all in not. So it's not an agency.
Okay.
The showcase itself is just the event. So I am helping with the coordination of it. It's going to be held in Framingham, Massachusetts, at the Sheraton Framingham, which most of us just call it the Terrace still because it's the old castle.
Yeah. Oh, I know. You can notice it right off the Mass Pike. It's huge.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, yes.
I've never been there, though.
I have many times for many occasions, and it does bring back a lot of very fond memories. So even though it's a long-standing traditional building that's been there forever, in the form of a castle, they have been renovating and upgrading the features and in the facilities.
Oh, that's
so,
nice.
yeah, we've been there already a couple times to take a look at the meeting spaces. We've met with the coordinator there on site. So we're very excited to have it at a well-established location. I mean, the Marriotts are, a well-respected name in the industry. So we're thrilled to be working with them and having some of the training sessions in person will be at the Marriott in Framingham, the Sheraton Framingham. But some of the training will be done via Zoom because auditions are done via Zoom.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to have some of the training done where we can actually work with people and say, okay, if that's where you're going to do your audition, awesome. Let's frame it this way, add this, remove that.
Okay, so you even help them with Zoom calls too?
Oh, yes. The
So you
coaching
need the
is-
light, yeah, because Zoom calls could have horrible lighting, horrible angles.
Right, and we can work with people's homes. I was away. I was at my father-in-law's recently, and I had to do an audition last minute, and I had lamps laying on the bed pointing at me, like old school spotlights. You make it happen when you want to do an audition. But being able to coach people to know what to look for, like I knew I had to get better lighting. So I didn't just record it and send it in. I did the best I could. It was not as good of a quality as I would have liked, but I still submitted when I was, was supposed to. The coaching and the training is not a school in itself. It falls under a category, some folks call it a workshop because there's training involved.
Yeah.
But at the end of the training is an event where you can potentially sign. The goal is for everybody to sign with an agent.
Right.
So at the event,
That's why it's called Showcase.
that's why it's a showcase. And it's a competition because you can win prizes.
Okay.
And you can walk away with not only the prizes if you win, but the winners also will be recording video commercials for sponsors. So we're also looking for sponsors too. So if you know anybody that wants to sponsor, they can also go to our webpage, anytalentshowcase.com.
Now, what's involved with sponsoring the event?
Well, we have different levels of sponsorship, and we are looking for the community to be involved, but also companies that kind of are on the lookout for talent too.
yeah.
But we're looking at different levels of sponsorship. So if people go to our webpage and you click on the sponsor tab, you'll see that we have diamond, we have different gems, different levels of the gemstones, and you can sponsor and get everything from a commercial to a big logo on the step and repeat, which for those of you not in the industry is where people stand in front of a backdrop that has all the logos of the sponsorships, and that's where all the main photos are taken.
Okay. Makes sense.
So it's a great advertisement.
Yeah.
People in the industry are very familiar with it, and it's really a great selling feature, and sponsors love it. And we have vendor tables that are being set up. We have a room and a giant hallway, one of those triple-size hallways you see at hotels when they have these events. So there'll be vendor tables there also.
Nice. Oh, that's
And then
fantastic.
social media and the commercials and things. So it's very, very inclusive, and I think it's a meaty package, whether it's a sponsorship or even talent. Sophia and I have both experienced the showcases. I did a competition a couple of years ago that was phenomenal for me. I loved it. And just like a wedding, I was sitting there saying, if I ever go to another showcase, I want to do this and this and this.
So you've come full circle.
Oh my goodness! And so when I was approached to do the showcase, I was like, yes, but can we do this? And they're like, sure. And the key piece that really sold me on this was the follow-up.
Okay.
So when the showcase is done, we're not done.
Right.
The next 3 months.
The work really has just begun.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
next phase of the
Yeah.
work beginning because now everybody's seen you, everybody has seen your work, all the judges got to meet with you, but we also have casting directors attending. So even though the casting directors are not judges, they're not going to meet with the talent individually, they're still attending the showcase as a guest. And they, as a registered guest, will get the marketing materials. So they're going to get everyone's headshots, resumes, the new commercials we're going to record during the training.
Perfect, yep.
They're going to have all that information and be able to follow up later. So even though everybody's still in the process of getting an agent, maybe moving to New York or Los Angeles, if you still want to live and work here, you still got the casting directors there.
Right, right. Wow, that's awesome.
Very cool event.
Very cool. Now, when is this taking place?
Well, the actual event itself is October 7th, 8th, and 9th in Framingham. The training begins in June. It's an ongoing training. We're doing small groups and individual sessions. The in-person ones will be the bigger ones because we'll be doing the headshots and the hair and makeup. But those events will be done on Sunday nights.
Okay.
The Zoom sessions we're going to be doing is we're going to have one big meeting, and then we're going to do breakout meetings, and we're going to be coaching people in small groups about everything from presentation, how do you present yourself at a showcase, because there are a lot of tips and tricks to being successful there. You could be the best actor in the world, you could have the best interview skills, but then if you're walking around and you're making a lot of boo-boo mistakes,
Yeah, you don't know how to actually sell yourself. Yeah, you might. Yeah, it's easy to memorize a script sometimes for some people.
Yep.
You know, but
So we're looking at it in that the holistic approach, because the idea that, oh, you're an actor, that's great. Well, what do you have for marketing materials? When was the last time you had a headshot done? Do you have any samples of your work called reels? Have you met with any agents? Do you have a manager? Some folks don't realize that they can have more than one agent. So if they have a local agent for their regional work, awesome, but they can also get a New York agent.
right.
They could even have an agent, one for film and TV, and then a different one for live theater.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of choices out there.
Yeah, so many things, and even a voiceover agent.
Right.
So though our agents that have
That's
already...
a good gig.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that, work
Well,
from home.
yeah, it does sound ideal. The only thing is that if you're really into the voiceover work, you have to get the equipment.
Yes.
And that's another area where we can help. So we can
great.
help guide people to, if voiceover is the type of work you want to do, and a lot of the studios are still not reopened in New York City, they are encouraging people to do it either at home or if there's a local studio.
Okay.
And, you know, we've got actors all over New England, so some folks might not, you know, might be a little too rural to go to a studio, but if they want to do voiceover work, we can help them design a beginner's audio studio where they can get some real quality work done.
Yeah.
But I mean, like $600 to $800 just get started.
Yeah.
And you don't want to buy the wrong thing.
Right. Oh, I know. That'd be a horrible
So
big
if you
mistake.
are, you know, making a purchase with informed decisions being done, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
And a lot of the equipment, you just keep upgrading as you go along in the process.
Right. Yeah, you have to in that industry. It's
Yeah.
crazy. So now, so it's New England Talent Showcase, and you're essentially you're looking for individuals that are interested in getting help in the acting industry, right? And then you're looking for sponsors or vendors to help out for this event in October, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and the best way to go about getting more information or going ahead and following through with this is to go to the webpage, anytalentshowcase.com. There you'll have tabs for sponsors to click on, next steps for talent to click on.
Okay.
There's a brief application to fill out. Once we receive either an email or an application, that person gets an email from us saying, okay, these are the time blocks when we're doing our auditions, and pick a block that works for you, and then we get back and we get you a Zoom code. Okay. That initial meeting with us is just Sophia and I with you. So it's just 3 people. You don't have a whole bunch of people watching you do yours. It's one-on-one with us. Comfortable, answer any question you might have at that point. It's a big commitment of time. And it can be a big commitment with money for a lot of folks. We offer ways to help defer the costs. We've got raffles going on. Sophia and I both have been very successful in raising funds for our adventures in acting. I had a showcase to attend to, and it was so expensive. But I was able to raise funds by doing a raffle, by selling T-shirts, and by just sending out emails. Sophia has a beautiful flyer that she can help folks with. So we're there to help coach you through the whole process, including defraying the costs.
Now, so if somebody's watching this and they're kind of like, maybe they're interested in becoming an actor, you know, what type of people are you interested in having contact you? Are you looking for people that want to be full actors and actresses that want to get the full part, or even just somebody who wants to walk in the background of a scene, you know? I mean,
I love background work, first of all. Oh, my God.
It's very different.
I love it.
It's very different.
And it's not an acting credit, but anybody that's really interested in acting should try background work. So I'm going to put a bookmark in that.
Would it go into like your reel?
No.
No. Okay.
Nope, they don't even count it. They don't even want it under special skills. They don't want to know.
But do you think maybe starting as a background actor for somebody would be
If
good
someone
and to
wants
like
to
know
know.
the industry?
Yeah, if someone wants to know, is this really what I want to do? For the showcase, we would like to have people that have already done that. They've already taken a class. They've already done background in some student films. They are looking to improve all the way. They just need that oomph to get to that next level. Anybody can do background work. They just want selfies. You don't need a headshot. They want a picture of you today. Take a selfie, submit it. If someone's watching this right now and wants information on how to get started with that, still send an email. I will respond to that and I'll guide them to their area, because here in Connecticut we have a boatload of productions going on.
Yeah, you don't really know what's...
Yeah, you can't, you can't throw a stick without hitting some sort of Hallmark movie or something that, they do a lot of the filming now and through the summer for productions that will actually air this winter.
Yeah, for Christmas.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, you see, you get the email. I get the emails all the time, like Weathersfield turned snowy. For
I gotta
June.
tell you, I love it. I've been on many productions. Sometimes I get on camera, sometimes not. You have no control over it. All you can do is show up, follow the directions, and be a good sport. It's a long day.
And you never know, right?
And you never know
if you get chosen.
And people get chosen, and you network and you know people. I mean, there's a guy I know that he does a lot of background work, and he's had some small parts in other movies. We actually walked on set to the background holding area, and as Ray and I were talking, shout out to my buddy Ray, the woman walked by, one of the production assistants says, "Ray, hey, I got something for you." So he wound up getting some juicy parts for background because he was reliable, he showed up, he was professional, and he was always willing to do the next thing that they need you to do.
Yeah.
And he's always working. He's having a blast.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Really, that's what everyone should do. Show up,
I
do your job, and do it right.
Yeah, you would think,
But that's how you get picked,
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
any job, really. That's how you get noticed. That's
Yep.
how you get picked, and that's how you move up.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
Wow, so that's fantastic. All right, so New England Talent Showcase. So they offer acting. There's teaching. There's coaching. What else?
The idea is to get the casting directors to notice the talent and to know that there are more people out there. A lot of the actors don't have access to or don't know how to get access to the casting directors. So though some of us see it everywhere because we're connected, that's what we want to do. So we're going to help people with their social media. As an actor, I don't care if you don't Facebook, and people call old people internet, but the acting industry and the film industry uses Facebook and Instagram. Some people talk about Twitter, but nobody cares what you want to say. If you're an actor, though, you want images, you want to guide them to a web page or a YouTube or something. But we're not telling you have to have these things. What you do have to have if you're an actor is a Facebook page that is appropriate and an Instagram account that's appropriate. And you want to make sure you juggle personal stuff with the business stuff. I got 2 grandkids, so I like posting pictures of them. But I also want to balance it with I'm still a professional. I'm an actor. I'm a trainer. Right. I'm a coach for the New England Talent Showcase. I'm all these other things also.
Right.
So we'll help people with that too. We're rooting. The idea is we always cheer for the other person until it's our turn.
Right. Yeah.
And then it's like, cheer for me.
Yeah, yeah.
And we want to help any way we possibly can. The more they succeed, the more everybody does.
True.
So if anybody's curious about the acting industry, there are ways to enter it. I would be more than happy if someone watching this were to click on it. I'd be more than happy to send some links with some information. This event, again, is more for someone who has this material and now needs to polish it. So in the audition process, people are showing us a commercial or a monologue. And from there, we can see, okay, we know the baseline.
Yeah.
And we can work with that and then customize it for each individual student. And this way, everybody gets plenty of time. They get an opportunity to really polish the work that they're doing, and we can give them, personalized coaching.
Wow. Very cool.
And the follow-up afterwards. That's really important.
Yeah.
That's really important.
Definitely.
Yep.
So now, I think we're almost going to be wrapping up soon, but just a little bit, go back just a little bit. So obviously you haven't been acting your whole career, right? This is something that
No.
you started kind of halfway through your life, right? What did you do before this?
Well, I've always been in sales or training, and I, in 2008, when the stock market, everything crashed, my husband and I lost everything. We lost our businesses. We were self-employed, lost our homes. So we had to regroup. And we moved into a small apartment. We both went back to school. I got a master's in education, special education, and my husband got a degree in mechanical engineering. So that drew him to Connecticut. They recruited him heavy. We loved being in Connecticut, but it got me to the point where I had to reevaluate, what am I doing? I had cancer, so at the time we were moving. My husband graduated college, we moved out of state, and I was undergoing cancer treatments. So at that point I was like, you know what do I want to be when I grow up? And I just decided, time to restart. I hit the restart button. I no longer teach in public schools. I loved teaching. I hated the paperwork and the meetings, and I'm actually still in touch with some of my students. Have reached out through Facebook, and I'm helping a couple of them right now. One of them wants to go back to school. One of them, so it's just been. I'm a teacher at heart, always have been, and I love to act. I've been an actor and acting in my family my whole life. And I just never thought that living in Worcester, Mass, Central Mass, and then even in Hartford, wait a minute, I'm in near a capital city now. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Yeah. So I got some training. I went to JC Modeling Acting Agency here in Connecticut, and I was like, that's it. I love it. I love it.
Fell in love.
Yeah.
I mean, you were even in a Super Bowl commercial, which I think is so cool.
All right, it was locally aired.
But that's still cool.
Oh, that was so wicked cool.
That's still cool.
Whenever you're shooting something, they tell you what it's for, and the photographer, the videographer, the camera operator, I'm sitting there, they're touching up my makeup, and he's telling me this is going to be a pro-COVID shot commercial, and it's going to be aired locally during the Super Bowl. And then he kept talking, and then he said, do you have any other questions? I was like,
did you say Super Bowl?
you lost me after Super Bowl. I don't know what you said.
Wow, that's cool.
I got a recording of that, and yes, I was thrilled. There were several of us from JC that were in that commercial, and I've done a bunch of other things like that, nothing of that scale. And I've also done some commercial print work, because as an actor, there aren't a lot of models that are 5'1", 57 years old. So by branching out and trying other things, I've been doing some print work too.
Oh, good.
I don't like to say I'm a model. I like to say I do some print work too.
Well, modeling, yeah. Sure.
It is modeling, but it just sounds so weird. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, well, hey, why not? Yeah, I'm a model, right? Say it. You can say it.
I'm a model.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, you'll see me in the Oncology Monthly. Really, it's Dana I was in the Oncology catalog they were doing.
Oh, jeez.
That was my most recent one.
Nice. So that's cool. So that's very good. And you have, so I love how it, like you said, you love the teaching. So it's like you went, you were a teacher, you found out that you loved acting, you went, did the schooling for it, but now you're teaching others how to get to where you are, really. I mean,
and beyond. I was impacted. My acting career was impacted by COVID. And so when COVID is lightening up, do I aggressively pursue the acting again, and the or came up. So now I'm still pursuing the acting. I just did an audition tape myself yesterday. I'm still submitting. I'm still working on, getting my, gold star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But in the meantime, I want to help as many other people as I can. There's so much work out there. There are so many streaming platforms, and you name it. There's not just 3 channels anymore.
Right.
Well,
I love that about you, that you're not just, you're not, because I feel like in that industry, it's like, like, move out of the way, here I come, and then but you're just like, no, like, I want to help you too. Like, come on, let's do this together,
Yeah.
So, I mean, contact Joyce, get a hold of Joyce, get working with her, because, you're a fantastic person to work with,
Thank you.
So,
yeah, we've known each other since I decided to get into this whole thing. What was it, 2017?
Yeah, about 5-6 years.
Yeah,
like that, so.
I took the free took the free class. Oh
Yep,
my
took my
goodness,
free
that
workshop.
workshop was awesome.
That's it. Started her off.
I'm addicted.
She says, I want to be on camera. That's it.
Yeah.
I want to be in front of the
I
camera.
think the last time I was behind camera was during the class. It's like I've been in front ever since.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. So see, you never know what could happen after
I
you
know.
take my workshop. You know, Joyce went off, and now she's, you know, you got an acting business now,
Oh,
or
yeah.
a showcase, I should say. Really, I
Yeah,
mean, it's
yeah.
a
And
showcase.
we'll be doing a modeling showcase in the spring. So the idea is to do a cycle of 2 a year, springtime for modeling and the fall for acting. Because in the fall
go.
time, there's a whole thing about the cycle of both modeling and acting.
Yeah,
It's really cool.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add about the showcase, about the New England Showcase, Talent Showcase, or
Well,
about the event in October?
Well,
Anything else?
anybody that's interested at all in acting and going to the next level, definitely pop onto the webpage, click on Next Steps, or send an email to info@anytalentshowcase.com if anybody wants any information about how to get started. I know a lot of people get excited. I actually had 2 classes that were supposed to go at the Vernon Night School, the adult education program, but it didn't meet the minimum number. But that was happening across the board because of COVID.
Right.
So communities like Vernon offer that night school, so I will be offering the Acting 101, like getting started.
Oh,
Acting for fun or profit.
Perfect.
And I cover that. That's a 3-hour workshop through the town of Vernon, and hopefully it'll go on this year. I did submit again, so.
Oh, that'd be great. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Well,
So
thanks,
watch
Joyce.
for that. And, you know, I highly encourage people to come down here and try this workshop because being able to say, you know, how to run the camera, it's free. You know, it's a lot of fun, and I loved it. It's you know, I do a lot of things.
I got you here. I got you hooked.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Joyce, so much for coming
welcome.
in.
Thank you
I
for having
really
me.
appreciate it.
Thank
And
you.
it was great to have you as the guest this time rather than the host. You help us out so much. So thank you so much for tuning in to CVC Interviews. I'm Melanie Merkel, and we'll see you next time.